Welcome to today's lesson, and in this lesson I want us to look at the structure of an atom. Now, as we start to identify the structure of an atom, it is important for us to understand the definition of an atom. So I have a definition that is already written here on the board for you, which in simpler terms we are saying that an atom is the smallest particle of an element that takes part in a chemical reaction. Now, as we all know that we have so many different types of elements. Now, these elements are made up of particles. Now, these particles are what will be taking part in a chemical reaction. So basically, an atom is the smallest particle of an element that will be taking part in a chemical reaction. Now, trying to take a step further, looking at the structure of an atom, let's use a diagram to represent how the structure of an atom will be looking like. So we are going to have an atom here. So this atom can be divided into two categories. So one, we are going to have the nucleus. Then second, we are going to have the shells. Then from the shells, we are going to have electrons. Then from the nucleus again, we can divide it further. We are going to have the neutrons. Then we are also going to have the protons. So basically, this is how the structure of an atom is. So we are going to have an atom that will be further divided into the nucleus, the shell, and further again, the shells can be divided going into the electrons, while the nucleus can be divided into two parts again, which we are calling the neutrons as well as the protons. Now, trying to put this in a diagram, it will look something like this for us to appreciate how each of these particles are arranged in an element. So if we have an element like this one, then we have shells around it. So this will be the nucleus. Now from this nucleus, we are going to have something like this. Then we are going to have another one here. Okay, so this will be our electron. This will be the shell. Then, so even this one, meaning it will also be a shell. But this one is the nucleus now. This is the nucleus now. Now, under this nucleus again, we have inside, we have content again. So there will be these that we are going to call protons. Then we are also going to have these which we are going to call neutrons. So this is how basically the structure of an atom is going to look around in an element. So we are going to have an electron, we are going to have a shell, we are going to have the neutron, the proton, as well as the neutron. Now, it is important for us to understand each of these so that we are able to appreciate them. So let us first start at looking at what an electron is, so that we appreciate the knowledge better. So number one, we are going to look at an electron. What is an electron? Or what are electrons when we talk of them? First, it is important for us to understand that an electron, it is a negative charged particle. Then it is also important for us to understand that since we are saying it is a negatively charged particle, then it means that it has a charge of -1. So because it is negatively charged, it is going to have a charge of -1. Now, in as much as it is going to have a charge of a -1, it is also important that we put into consideration that these electrons, they are found around the shells. I'm sure from the diagram that we had drew, you were able to see that we had filled an electron around the shell. Now, it is also important for us to take note that this electron has a mass of 1/1840 atomic mass unit. So this will be the mass of an electron. Now, this is basically the information that we need to understand. Now, the atomic mass unit is sometimes abbreviated as AMU in small letters. Let us take a step further again to look at something different. So, we are going to look now at the proton. What is a proton? So now, as we take a step further, the few information that we need to understand about a proton is that 1, it is a positive charged particle. It is a positively charged particle. Now, because it is a positively charged particle, this means that it has a charge of +1. For an electron, it was -1 because it is negatively charged. Now, the proton, it is +1 because it is positively charged. Now, this proton, it is found in the nucleus. A proton is found in the nucleus. Then it has a mass. It has a mass of 1 atomic mass unit. So it is going to have a charge of 1 atomic mass unit. So basically, this is the piece of information that we need to understand as we look at the proton. Then we can take a step further again to look at the third component or particle of an atom. So we are going to look at now the neutron. So this will be 3. So we have the neutron. Now, the neutron, it has no charge. So we say it has no charge. So a neutron has no charge because it is neutral. Just like when we are looking at electricity, there is what we call a neutral cable, meaning it neither carries positive or negative charges of electricity. So the same applies even when we look at neutrons. Neutrons are basically no charged particle that we need to take note. Now, it has no charge, meaning that it is neutral. It's a neutral particle. It is a neutral particle with no charge. So it will also have as a mass of 1 atomic mass unit. Basically, these are the components or the structure of an atom. Now, before we conclude on this lesson, it is important for us to take note that an atom has no charge. It's a neutral charge. This is because the number of protons equals the number of electrons. Like we had seen, we said an electron, it is a positively charged, while a proton, an electron, it is a negatively charged, while a proton, it is a positively charged. So in every time we are looking at an atom, the number of electron equals the number of protons. This results in the overall charge of an atom to be neutral, because these will cancel themselves or will be dividing themselves. The number of electron equals the number of protons. So hence, as a result, we are going to have a no charge as the overall charge of an element or that of an atom. So basically, this is the simple atomic structure of an atom that I needed us to take time and discuss. Please feel free to leave a comment or a question. I'll be able to attend to you. Thank you.